Hi guys, how is everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about order of operations, and a way to remember the order of operations is PEMDAS. This is an acronym for Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. And what that stands for is parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So if you have to write PEMDAS on your papers every time that you get a problem where you have to use the order of operations, then so be it. Do that. You'll end up remembering this term if you just keep thinking to yourself, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So my first example that I'm going to give just includes adding, multiplication, subtraction, and division. So our first step is just to look, we're going to start from P, make our way down to S. So parentheses, is there anything in our problem that holds parentheses? No, there's not. So we can skip to the E, exponents. Is there anything in our problem that has an exponent? An exponent being something like this little guy. We do not. So then we'll skip on to the M for multiplication. Is there anything in our problem that is supposed to be multiplied? Yes, we have a 3 and we have a 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write everything before and after this positive 3 times 4. So I'm going to write the 6, I'm going to write the minus 2 divided by 2. This is just so we don't forget to write anything after we are done multiplying and we don't want to screw up our problem. So write down everything before and after what we are looking at, which is the positive 3 times the 4. And then now we just simply do it. Positive 3 times 4 gives us positive, don't forget to write your sign, 12. So that was our first step. We just multiplied anything that we saw, and that was our 3 and the 4. We got a 12. So you see our problem's already condensed a little bit. So now we move on to division. Is there anything in our problem that is supposed to be divide? Yes, there's a negative 2 divided by 2. So we're going to write down everything before that. And then think to yourself, what is negative 2 divided by 2? You know, a number divided by itself is always 1. But since there's a negative 2 divided by 2, it'll be a negative 1. So then now we only have 2 steps left. We have to add something, we have to subtract. But PEMDAS calls for addition to come first. So we are going to add the 6 and the 12 first. So that comes to 18 minus 1. And then the last thing we have to do is just finish it out. 18 minus 1 is 17. And that's our answer. Alright, and I have one more example, and this example includes all of the steps. So this will give you an insight as to what your hardest problem might be like. So what I have here, I have 4 plus 2 squared plus, in parentheses, 6 minus 4 times 3. So again, I'm going to write PEMDAS close to my problem, just so I can keep it in mind. So we have parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So our first step is to look at anything in the problem that does have parentheses. So in this case, we do have parentheses. We have a 6 minus 4 in parentheses. So as I did before, I'm going to write down everything before the parentheses and outside of the parentheses. And then now I'll actually do what is inside the parentheses. 6 minus 4 is positive 2. Alright, so that was our first step. We're done with the P. Now we have E for exponents. So like I said, I showed you the example up top. This little guy is an exponent. He's telling us that 2 squared, that's what it's saying. 2 squared, which means 2 times 2. So we're going to write down everything before, keep the sign, and everything after what we are looking at. So we have positive 2 squared. So in other words, this is 2 times 2, which gives us positive 4. All right, so we already see our problem just got a lot easier. Now we have multiplication. So we see here we have 2 times 3. We're going to write down everything before and think positive 2 times 3 is positive 6. Right. We don't have any division in this problem. I said I included all of the steps, but I actually didn't, just because I don't know, I guess I didn't realize I didn't include division, so I'll include a separate example in a separate video. But it shouldn't be that hard if you just know the steps and to start with parentheses and end with subtract. So then now we have division. We don't have division in our problem, so we don't have to worry about that D. And now we have add. So we only have addition in our problem, so it's important to know to move from left to right. Just keep that in mind, even if it doesn't make a difference with this example right here, it will make a difference in other ones. So just know when you're using PEMDAS and say you have multiple forms of addition or subtraction, you will always move from left to right. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Tag along that 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. So it is as easy as that. Just remember PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. And that is the easiest way to do it. That's the easiest way to explain it. If you have to write PEMDAS on your paper 1,000,000 times just to know the order of operations, then so be it. Just do what you need to do. I wrote that down on my paper for so many years, and then it kind of just sticks in your head after so long. So don't give up. Just practice, 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 and if you have any questions or concerns or other examples that you would like me to do, even forms of calculus or anything really, just comment below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great day, guys, and I hope that I was able to help.